Rashida, let me just quickly go back to you being single. I'd love to find out where you are now, because obviously you said that you'd love to get married someday. So you are you sort of single by choice? Not that we have to put a label on it, but would you say that you are single by circumstance rather than single by choice?
All of the above.
I suppose
So
does it
let
sort
me
of depend on but I guess what I'd love to get an idea of where you are with it. Like, are
yeah,
you is a relationship something that you're actively looking for? Is it something you're not really bothered about? Where are you in that regard?
that is a great question. And what I
Mm.
mean by all of the above is I am not actively dating. So I gave up social or dating apps. So I gave up dating apps years ago, and I found so much freedom in it.
Why? Let me
um,
ask you why. I mean, I'm sure I can guess, but I'd love you to tell our listeners and me, why
yeah,
did you quit them?
well, it's interesting because I find that a lot of women that I've met, and even some men as well, but soon as they log in or create an account, they get hundreds of messages. They're bombarded with messages from men, in particular for those who are straight, right? I'm not sure what the experience is for people who are in same gender loving relationships or those who may be part of the LGBTQ plus community. But as a straight woman, I find that sometimes it is whew, overwhelming and it could be a little bit disheartening. As soon as you get online, you're bombarded with all of these messages of men who don't even read your profile in the first place. Because one thing that I am adamant about, I put in my profile that I'm child free up front, just so that there's, no issues. And sometimes I will get men who challenge me on that. Don't know why.
What do they
They
say?
will, yeah. So it's interesting that some of them, and I've had this happen on social media as well, when I made a statement about being child free. Oh, well, aren't you afraid of, um, growing old without having anyone to take care of you? That's the weirdest one I get. It's a little odd. No, I'm not creating children to be my hospice nurse. Sometimes I get a little real and raw, and then they're like, "What, lady? You're insane." But it's okay. Uh, but I have had men that will say, "Well, don't you want someone to be there and take care of you? Um, aren't you afraid of dying alone?" All of these interesting things that they come up with, or sometimes they will ignore eh, ignore the profile altogether. Um, so it was a challenge, I will say, with online dating and being on the dating apps, and then also just I don't know, just the energy that was there. The
Mm.
men who wanted to move quickly, they didn't want to get to know you. Oh, would you like to go out tomorrow? Okay, can we get to know each other first a little? I like that you're assertive and taking charge. However, they like to rush things. I don't know. I just feel like the timing online is not like realistic timeline. They meet you for the first date. After the third date, they're ready to be in a relationship. And then, within 6 months, they're ready to get you knocked up. So it's just, I'm just saying, I think that for me, it was the timeline of everything that would happen with online dating. And I just said I had enough. Some people have met their spouses online and they've started families. I know people who have had much success. I even, two of the relationships that I was in, I met through men that I met through a dating app. But I decided that no, that's not the space that I want. That's not the energy I want. And I have been meeting interesting people offline in real life.
Because it's
So,
possible. Because it is
so
possible.
it's definitely possible. But I'm single. I'm not married. Um, I may have had relationships here and there, or I meet people when I travel. Uh, it's just the freedom to be able to choose
Yeah.
um, who and what I want for my life.